tap into those incredible things that God is preparing for you.
You're listening to Flashpoint, the family radio.
I know where I am going, I know.
Let me leave you.
I know where I am going, I know.
We can't afford to.
Bells are ringing, happy children are singing.
I hope you have your spiritual compass.
Oh, we not gonna miss heaven. We say we not gonna miss heaven. We say we not gonna miss heaven. We spend eternity down here.
Not at all.
Oh, we not gonna miss heaven.
Coulda never.
We not gonna miss heaven. We say we not gonna miss heaven. We spend eternity down here.
Never.
Aye, say. So we know why your wickedness.
Make it handy day.
Bad mind jealousy.
Make it handy day.
Evil what they're working hard.
Make it handy day.
Married and still flirting.
Make it
Don't
handy day.
fornicate on dating.
Make it handy day.
Rum you love drinking. Don't buy lotteries gambling. Christian nothing already when it working.
So make it handy
Oh, we
day.
not gonna miss heaven.
We not miss it.
We not gonna miss heaven.
We say we not miss
We
it.
say we not gonna miss heaven. We spend eternity down here.
We say we not miss
Oh,
it.
we not gonna miss heaven.
We not miss it.
We not gonna miss heaven. We say we not gonna miss heaven. We spend eternity down here.
James, let me tell you something. Well, I might miss that movie tonight, or studio time for the big song go right. I might miss that basketball finals, or I might miss the fight. But one thing me know so me right. Jesus, him a the ticket and me not miss the flight. I want make sure that the great supper I ready and waiting and just up in a
We not
white.
gonna miss heaven.
Me not miss
We say
it.
we not gonna miss
Oh,
heaven.
me not miss
We say
it.
we not gonna miss heaven. We spend eternity down here.
You mental.
Oh, we not gonna miss heaven.
We not miss it.
We not gonna miss heaven. We say we not gonna miss heaven. We spend eternity down here.
Jason, listen me again. Them don't know them direction, confused at the intersection. Them don't know if it's reverse or forward, don't know the gear selection. Bible and me compass and protection. Jesus me insurance and protection. Jesus drive the car but not drive too fast, so no one follow we take a injection.
I know where I am going, I know.
Well, I really hope you know.
I know where I am going, I know.
They just God not really know.
Child bells are ringing, happy children are singing.
Why they gonna people
Know where I am going, I know.
Tell me where I go.
Oh, we not gonna miss heaven.
We not miss
We
it.
say we not gonna miss heaven.
So we not miss
We
it.
say we not gonna miss heaven. We spend eternity down here. Oh, we not gonna miss heaven.
We not miss it.
Tell somebody that we're not gonna miss you when you spend eternity down a hell.
Oh, we not gonna miss heaven.
We not miss
We say
it.
we not gonna miss heaven. We say we not gonna miss heaven. We spend eternity down here. Oh, we not gonna miss heaven. Oh, we not gonna miss heaven. We say we not gonna miss heaven. We spend eternity down here.
You know what? Some sweet day, I'm going away. I'm gonna leave this world, no more to stay. Some sweet day, when life is over. Some sweet day, I'll be going away.
Nicholas, you say.
We're gonna walk those streets of glory by and by. We're gonna walk those streets of glory by and by.
Nicholas, you say.
We're gonna walk those streets of glory, sing redemption story. We're gonna walk those streets of glory by and by. Not gonna miss heaven, not gonna miss heaven, not gonna miss heaven.
Now gonna miss you if you spend eternity down a hell this morning. I want to say pleasant good morning to everyone joining us right now for the breakfast. So, when the first time viewers, I want to say welcome to the platform. Welcome to another beautiful day, and of course for a very important stop in your morning and a start at the same time.
Time.
Yeah.
You know, I like the vibe that you start with, you know, some of the old time chorus there.
The old time
I
chorus, them
don't
are serious
know.
chorus, them, you know. The old time choruses are serious
And can I tell you
choruses.
that I thought I had a wide repertoire of choruses and I knew some. But each time, sometimes I go to church, Mikey G, and some people start some chorus and I say, I never hear that one yet.
But choruses are not popular anymore in the churches.
Are you gone back down memory lane today? But
How do you divorce? How do you divorce your memory from what is actually occurring at the present moment.
I don't know. It's just that we always find ourselves.
We just want to forget what the past is, so we just make up our own story going forward.
Mikey G, no.
Yes, what we want to do.
No. It's just that we always, in every conversation, we always have to look back. I will say, and I never thought that I would find myself looking back with fond memories myself.
Yeah,
you know, I'm like...
There's no going forward without looking back. There's no... Forward means that you have stopped at a point, see what you are coming from, and now going forward. Yeah, if you're going forward in the same direction that you're coming from.
Yeah. That means you're going backward.
You mean you're driving forward, backward, you know? So it's like you get the concept.
But Mikey G,
you're in a forward motion.
You've heard
going in the direction you came from.
You've heard the concept, right? There's nothing new under the sun, right?
Right.
And we see it in fashion. The bell-foot pants, Mikey.
I want a big heel booty and a bell-foot pants figure dance this festival.
Yeah, would look back and say, you remember when people used to wear bell-foot pants? But look here now.
Well,
it's back.
There are things that are happening now that we think is new. Children saying things that they think
afro.
Is new.
You see the big ears?
Big afro was what I used to wear back in the 19 when.
Your hair.
You used to have a whole heap of my hair used to like this one time, like a beer.
You need to share some photos.
I don't have photos like that, you see.
Oh, you never have a photographer?
Well,
the film run out by you.
No, you know, I tell you the truth, you know. For some unknown reason, the picture taking is not from a certain time until a certain time, you know.
Yes.
They are a rarity. When you do take a picture, it's like a portrait for a family, or it's a rare thing. One off. You know, really something that was a popular thing. People catching things like that.
Somebody sent a picture to me, Mikey G, and I think I shared it. I would love to share it. So, this was a long time.
To see myself as a child,
yes,
I was like, I don't know.
Picture.
I don't think there's a picture existing of me before I was like about in my teens. I don't know. I don't believe that. Are close to being my teens. I mean, I've taken a picture of a school portrait some time ago, but it was like I was in maybe about grade 8 at the time. I don't know.
Yeah, I have to go find some of the old time pictures.
Since nobody was traveling to foreign regularly them times and wanting to be in foreign and all of that. You know, no passport pictures were taken.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Yeah, so it was not a big thing. I mean, pictures were actually going on, but it was like it's not something that, let's go take a picture now. You know? It would have been a special occasion or, I don't know what it would be, a wedding, perhaps.
Yeah, I have a few
something like that. And not all weddings was in that time were photographed. People just had their weddings and go about the business, and that was that. Well, my mother, they did take a photograph, because I did see a photograph of my father and my mother early days.
Yeah.
When they just got married.
Yeah.
And I think that's just about it, the one photograph. I don't think my mother and my father had a wedding. I think they just got married. I don't know. This is a question that I don't know, and I can't ask it. I don't know if my sister would know. She being the oldest of us, would know that information and still alive. I can't ask my parents because they're not.
Oh, wow.
And so when we talk about looking back, here are questions that need answers. That if you didn't get it while you were alive, you won't get it after. So you're going to speculate and then do your own thing. And then your thing is a nonsensical thing and you think it's right things you're doing. Want to say. All right, so
give me a little volume, Mikey G, on my headset. Can you give me a little volume over here?
Yes, you got your volume here now.
Yes, I...
Well, let's see if we can start the ball rolling.
Please. Go right ahead.
First thing in the morning, I give thanks for another day. I smile, though I don't have no money. I won't let that faze me, 'cause I'm so grateful for life and another chance. I'm gonna go through my day with a beautiful smile, even when things ain't going my way. I'm thankful for the gift of life, gonna share that smile, it will never ever fade away. I'm alive, in spite of all my struggles. I'm alive, won't be drowned by my sorrows. I'm alive, yeah, gonna live like there's no tomorrow. Hey, 'cause today is all I have. Ha. Work hard every day for me and my family. It's rough, but I gotta make it. Right now, can't hesitate. My time will come, and I'll be a better man. I'm gonna go through my day with a beautiful smile, even when things ain't going my way. I'm thankful for the gift of life, gonna share that smile, it will never ever fade away. I'm alive, in spite of all my struggles. I'm alive, won't be drowned by my sorrows. I'm alive, yeah, gonna live like there's no tomorrow. Woo! 'Cause today is all I have. I'm gonna live today. Come on. I'm gonna live. I'm gonna go through my day with a beautiful smile, even when things ain't going my way. I'm thankful for the gift of life, gonna share that smile, it will never ever fade away. I'm alive, in spite of all my struggles. I'm alive, won't be drowned by my sorrows. I'm alive, yeah, gonna live like there's no tomorrow. I'm gonna live, 'cause today is all I have.
Yeah.
I was waiting for the it has become a signature piece. And,
yeah.
Yes. How you doing, Mikey G? How are you doing?
Well, usually when somebody asks you that question, your answer must be, I am doing fine.
No. This time we asking because we really want to find out how are you doing.
Have you ever, when you go to church and they meet you at the door, and I'm going to say this, at the churches, and they meet you at the door and they say, good morning, my brother. How are you today?
We don't matter wait for no answer. We don't really want answer. It's just a greeting. All right, so nobody can tell me about what happened last week.
So what happened to me is this now. Because I know that the answer is, I don't want to hear how you're doing. Nothing about if you're failing this week, or if you're falling short, or if you got dropped in a pit, or somebody shot you. You don't want to know. I just tell you, I am fine. I'm okay. Don't worry. I'm good.
Well, I actually want to find out how you are, all right? How are you doing, Mikey G?
I'm good.
What a gone, pan, what a gone.
I'm fine.
So why you limping like that if you're fine?
And strap, where's my belt? I should put my belt around my waist. I'm okay now. I'm a big, big white piece of cloth tie around.
You don't look okay.
I don't look okay.
No, you don't look okay. It's another beautiful morning. We have some brand new subscribers in our Mikey G. People joining the Flashpoint family.
Wow.
And we want to say good morning and welcome to the breakfast hour, where we aim to bring you all the good vibes and positive energy so that you can start your morning, start your day in fine style. I have a poem to read.
Yeah.
I have a riddle that we never finished yesterday, that we never start.
We never start the riddle at all. That's what's happened completely. That was out the window before we started. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a time check and see where we are in our morning, and then we come back.
Okay.
Some of that conversation.
All right.
There. Yeah.
Lasco One and Up now has ARA, DHA, and prebiotics. It's a new, smarter formula. The time by Lasco One and Up is...
It's now 10 minutes past 7 in the a.m. right here in Grand Cayman. It is a warm morning at 89 degrees Fahrenheit right here in Cayman Islands.
It sounds about right to me. When I don't know, when I see Celsius and Fahrenheit, it changes how I operate. Because now I know where the fire night is.
Yeah.
Fire starts. Celsius sound like a part of where it is cold and misty.
Yes.
Musty.
Yes.
And Fahrenheit does sound hot and warm and, sunny somewhere, So it's on a little different for me when I see Fahrenheit. I see fire and it's going to get warmer in a little while. You're saying about today's information. You want to tell me something earlier?
Oh, really?
Yeah, you went off. You don't remember. All right, fine. Let's go to the devotional. When we come back, let's pick it up where we left off. Of course, Lady Susan.
Amnesic.
This segment of the breakfast hour is brought to you by Lasco Food Drink, for all your Lasco products right here in the Grand Cayman Islands.
Good morning. This is day 29. Happy is the man who finds wisdom, for her proceeds are better than the profits of silver, and her gain than fine gold. Proverbs chapter 3 verses 13 and 14. Searching for a rare jewel, written by Marvin Williams. When Betty Goldstein of Staten Island, New York, entered the hospital, her husband Ron wrapped her 3.5 carat diamond ring in a napkin for safekeeping. But in a forgetful moment, the 63-year-old Goldstein threw the napkin in the trash. When he realized his mistake, he dashed outside, only to see the garbage truck rumbling down the street. So he called the local sanitation department and got permission to follow the truck to a transfer station. Workers began sorting through hundreds of garbage bags and recovered the ring an hour later. The writer of Proverbs urges us to search diligently for something far more precious: wisdom. In chapter 2, a father encourages his son to do whatever is necessary to get insight and wisdom. This strenuous search for wisdom is actually a search for God Himself. In fact, inner happiness comes when man attains this wisdom. He encourages his son to search diligently for this rare jewel because wisdom is not usually discovered by the casual observer. Wisdom is discovered and enjoyed only by those who are diligent, devoted, and determined to seek it. Let us devote our whole being to searching for that rare jewel of wisdom. More valuable than diamonds rare is priceless wisdom from above. With purest gold, it can't compare because it's filled with truth and love. Our quote this morning reads, "With all you're getting, get understanding." End quote.
Wow. Hey, that one is blowing my mind right now. In all you're getting.
Get some understanding, man.
Yeah. In all you're getting. Get some understanding. You know, what came out of this is that you have a lot of people who are surface people. Who they just glance across things and they just, oh, I know. You don't know nothing. You know absolutely nothing because you're just bumping in your head and bumping right out. If you're really going to seek wisdom and actually attain it, you have to be somebody who actually deeply seek after it. Which means you have to spend time looking at something that matters to find the wisdom in it. You can't just... And so what we have looked at is our new generation of people that is coming up. That is purposefully designed. They have designed this society and the concept of things purposefully, that they expand the mind attention span of a 20-year-old child is the same. I call him a 20-year-old child. A 20-year-old man or girl, woman, is the same as a 5-year-old. And not the 5-year-old, no, we know. The 5-year-old when I was born. Your attention span is when I was born. That's what your attention span is at 20 now. I was just 5 when I was doing this 20-year-old thing that you're doing. Can you imagine that I'm not doing that now? When I was 20, I would never do what you're doing. My mind would never work like that.
So what has changed?
A deliberate act of basically resetting the mind not to be able to attain anything by not staying long enough to look at it.
Did you hear that?
And so because of that,
Yes.
and so because of that, what takes place is this.
Yes.
The youngsters now, by not being able to sit quietly and think of something and just think about something, everything just jumping around. Oh, my brain is going like this. It's only when they get older that their mind gets steadier, that they're actually starting to see.
Dr. Guest, do you remember when he spoke about the frontal lobe development and at what age?
Yeah.
Yes, and that's why crime would occur in a certain
age group between a certain point.
Yes, so we have to take these things into consideration. Listen, guys, you are tuned in the right time to the breakfast hour, and we are keeping the conversation going. Our physician is going to be on at 7:30, is it?
7:30 in the a.m.
Yes, and we should probably ask her to virtually check out Mikey, see if he's all right. You all right, Mikey?
I am fine. Because, you know, what don't look okay today, look at what's happening in our society now.
Yes.
The ability for persons to say things, put a picture up with yourself, and make you say things that you didn't say.
Yes.
You're looking at the whole Christian walk. People are preaching Christianity right now. Let me tell you something. The only persons don't know that you're under attack is the Christians.
We are under attack?
There's a question right there. There's an answer for you.
Who is attacking us?
Let me tell you who's attacking us. We're attacking ourselves with our own naivety.
That's true.
That render us obsolete and really ridiculously stupid. Naivety is running deep within our grains, within Christendom. That we live in this utopia thinking the things around us are not affecting. When you're living in the same exactness of it. You can't separate. You can't, in fact, you can't see what's happening around you. You're blind to what's taking place. And so you can't find fault or problems with what is happening because you don't know what's happening. Or you can't find fault or problem. How can you see something? How do you, Lady Elise, find a problem when you can't see it, that there's a problem?
You can't go find the problem.
Because you don't have one.
You don't have one. You don't see it. So if you don't see the problem,
so when somebody say, when I hear people say, look at what's going on in the world and the church is so silent. I'm saying, guys, what frightens you, what frightens me is the fact that the church is silent? No. What frightens me is not that the church is silent. It's that the church is silent because it don't know that there's a problem.
Wow, that's a sad situation.
I'm not talking about denomination here.
No.
I'm talking about God, the principle of God, the church in general, God's church.
And it's a general, yeah.
We don't know that there is a problem, so we can't speak on something that we don't see.
If it's a medical problem, you first have to identify the problem. It's a problem you need to fix. You have to at least know that the problem exists in order to fix it.
That there goes.
Like the problem I have, Mikey G.
Yes.
I need to be exercising. I need to So you have to find a 10-minute segment within the breakfast hour, even once a week, for us to move. Like people like me who are here.
I had this 10-minute segment in the breakfast hour that I didn't used to do, but I did it a few times. And I promised that we would continue it.
All those in favor, can you please put it in the chat? Would you want us to have, because we do have a video there as well, would you want an exercise segment within the breakfast hour so you can get some steps in? All those in favor?
Well, I got called back. I got called back already.
That
says, Mikey G, I enjoy that piece there that you do with exercise, man. I enjoyed it so much.
If there are any takers. Anybody responding in the chat, please let us know if you want to have the exercise as a part of the feature, even once per week. And we will be sure to get you up and moving and ready. Well, let me start the conversation in the chat because persons are kind of shy. You know, let's... Mikey G.
All right, so here is where I'm going to go. We're going to go for a song, and then when we come back, we want to know what days we have going on today. Who is celebrating what on this particular day? The 29th day of May. Here's a song that somebody would like this morning.
Oh yes, good morning. Yes. I have a yes for the exercise.
You already have a yes? You have people stepping already?
Yes. I want to get my steps in, and I believe like for 10 minutes we could just march on the spot so that we can get the blood pumping, because we get here early in the morning and we speak about holistic living, and I believe we can get our blood pumping, be deliberate in doing that. Yeah, I want to feel like, oh, I've come and I haven't gotten any exercise. I can do some steps.
So I guess we can do the exercise then in the morning part just before we
early
enough. And then we get settled down and then do the rest of the stuff.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm going to get... Well, all right, let's treat it like that then. Well, I'm going to play this song for somebody this morning. I hope you enjoy this rendition of this song. It's in reggae, of course. God, I want to call upon your name this morning to say thank you.
Mikey, I'm going to start my steps right now. I'll do it in slow motion.
Steps in slow motion this morning.
Don't mind me. I have to get my steps in.
All right, fine.
Grace abounds in deepest waters. Your sovereign hand will be my guide. My feet may fail and fear surrounds me. You never fail when you walk down.
What a song this morning. I will rest in your embrace this morning. Want to give thanks to all that.
We need to have a talent segment, and maybe one of these mornings we can treat the viewers to a duet or,
Me singing?
Yeah, man, me and you.
Me singing? Oh, man.
Which reminds me, I need to find that poem that was shared with me by Elder Bennett that I should be sharing
this morning. All right, let's go to the poem, and then when we come back, we do some days of the week are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday will be the 7th day of the week if you start counting from Monday.
Listen, guys.
So for those persons who have a problem with 7th day, and you don't, you want to go to church, and when the Bible speaks of the Sabbath, and you say you must go on the 7th day, don't worry. All you have to do is start counting from Monday. Sunday becomes the 7th day, and then right away you're on the Bible get in line, same time. Don't make anybody tell you anything different, all right?
Alright, so this is a compilation of several proverbs. Please note where you hear that I missed the dash out. Please fill in the appropriate
Put
words.
in the dashes. The dashes must go in somewhere.
In your corner, you can do that.
Yeah.
Now, it's a donkey say.
What donkey say?
Donkey say the ground no level. Puss and dog.
Hold on. No got the same look.
Yeah, every day bucket aga well.
One day the
bottom a drop out.
Will drop out.
You spit in the ear.
It will fall in your eye.
You can't plant corn
without you reaping peas.
The same place.
And want to reap peas. You can't plant corn and then want to reap peas.
The same place. Under fall roofs, fall with
if you go under fall roofs,
fall
will pan you. Did anybody know the word?
Dog.
But I never know the word defecate until my niece. I want to say good morning to Shauna K.
Shauna K. I got this poem. It's a compilation, a compilation of proverbs. Right? So play with Maga dog.
Maga dog, turn round, bite you. No, but it says, sorry for Maga dog, turn round, bite you. Da 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 da, sorry for Maga dog. Maga dog, turn round. You know that we have a folk song with that one, right?
Well, it says at the heading song, so I don't know if the author was able to put it in song form, but I'm gonna read it through just quickly, and you can fill in the spots, Mikey G. Donkey said the ground no level. Puss and dog
no have the same luck.
Every day bucket aga well.
The bottom aga drop out.
We'll spit in at the ear.
It fall in your face or in your eye.
You can't plant corn and
without you, I want to reap peace.
Under fall rules.
Fall will defecate on you.
Play with Maga dog.
Maga dog, turn round, bite you.
Ay, ay, ay.
Wow, these are proverbs that we must take heed and understand that they are not just simply there because it sounds good.
Yes.
They are there for our edification and, of course, knowledge, wisdom, and our understanding.
Yes. All of them have some serious meanings.
All right, this segment of the Breakfast Hour is brought to you by Lasco Food Drink and Lasco Food Product. Let's go to a commercial and come back.
Of course.
Take it from me, Lasco Food Drink is the best nutrition for the whole family. It provides protein, which keeps us healthy, and calcium, great for building strong bones and teeth. Lasco Food Drink has vitamins A and C, which helps to prevent illnesses. I think that's what they call protecting the immune system. I'm never short on energy since it's fortified with iron. Nutrition never tasted so good.
Lasco Food Drink. Good, healthy, fun!
Lasco Food Drink.
Good, healthy fun from Lasco, the food drink of choice in the morning. Lasco is for me, make some good, lovely tea. And we got some Lasco products here that is different. The mint, the chocolate mint. I love that. I love that flavor right now. It has become a big thing. It's a household. It's my new sensation.
Your new sensation. Don't drink some bush tea. Morning.
Bush tea. Hold on. When people talk about
positive, I know I used to carry in thermos within tea in the morning. And when I traveled recently, I left the country, man. Listen, everything on that property in the country, everything. And I reached back into Kingston. I'm like, we need some fever grass.
So when we talk about drink some bush tea, and people, when we say it like that, people make mention of it in the derogatory.
Yeah.
No matter how nice it sounds, when you say I'm going to get some bush tea, it's a derogatory you're speaking about.
You like Cersei? Do you like Cersei?
No, I don't like Cersei at all. Nor the one they call semi-contract. That one, my sister cut down. There's a tree that is a wormwood tree, the worming tree.
Listen, some vitamin is good for you.
Hold on, I'm saying to you something. And so my sister would walk around and cut down everywhere because my mother soon find one, come boil tea, give her a drink. And semi-contract is a bush, Anywhere you go, it smell, As you go near it, you have to go close to it.
I need to call my mother because I have never heard of semi-contract. What semi-what?
Semi-contract.
Semi-contract.
It may have a different name.
About everything else.
It might have a different name for different person.
A long time I don't hear about chickweed.
You know the Sylvianson tree? You know the Sylvianson tree?
Sylvianson yama.
No. There's a plant named Sylvianson tree that we you boil tea from it.
I think you're born a halfway tree under the clock.
No, I'm not born a halfway tree under no clock. I born where people have sense.
Listen.
I born where people did have sense at a certain time. I wouldn't do the rubbish that some people doing right
Let me remind you of what is being celebrated today. So let's keep in the know. Let's know what's happening all over the world, not just in our neck of the woods. And so, on top of the list this morning, we have...
Can I share one with you before you go on top of the list?
Yes.
Old time people say, if you can't catch Kwaku,
Catch Kwaku short.
you go and catch him. You can catch him short.
Yes.
That's a dangerous topic right now. No, I'm going on that one. Let's leave it alone.
All right, Kwaku. Learn about composting day. Learn about composting day.
What is composting day?
Composting?
I have no idea what that
You
is.
don't know what it is?
That's a word that I've never heard before.
Do you know what it is to do composting?
No. And so the word is new to me. As many words as I may be exposed to over my vocabulary building days and learned lots of words and have learned words. I have nothing about composting. I've never heard it before.
I've learned to do this thanks to my...
Now, if it's something that I know but don't know the word that they are using for it, I might have to find a word and tell you what I am saying it is.
All right, let me enlighten you.
Enlighten me what
so today
composting
is celebrated as Learn About Composting Day. Start a composting pile or get a composting bin and start making your own rich, fertile soil while getting rid of food waste in a sustainable way. Get it?
Hold on.
Right?
Hold on, Lady Elise. Hold on. You say composting pile. So you're talking about decomposing things in one place.
Yes. It is a simple process.
Hold on, Lady Elise.
Hold on to my hand.
Composting. No.
We do that still.
Hold on.
It's a practice.
Hold on, Lady Elise.
Yes.
For manure for me, I just get some chickens, put in a cube, and then just everywhere, and you just pile that up with some sawdust. Good manure to spread and everything. Now, that pile of something you're talking about, you go and create maggots and all kind of things going to come there.
No. There's a method and you turn it. So you choose what goes in the pile.
No maggots not going to come.
Your ripe banana skin, those things that you're throwing in the garbage. You peel your yam.
I thought you were talking about like a piece of meat and so you throw it in there.
No, man. No.
Composting everything together.
No.
That not sound the same to me?
No, degradable, natural things.
Oh, you mean natural, degradable things?
Yes.
Because a while ago, when you say composting and they put things together and start, how it feel like a half a piece of meat, like a half a side of a goat throw in there and just compost it all one whole day, 1 week. Man, that going to blow some flies and some composting going to take place. In fact, you haven't put that far from your house because your house going full of flies. I'm full of flies everywhere.
But I have to share with you what are the suggestions as to
how you can... So composting then is to biodegradable products such as banana peels, your yam, your potatoes, and of course oranges.
You just put it in that pile and you turn it over. They actually have...
No, I'm learning today, guys. I'm learning some new stuff today.
You can actually get a composting box at your local hardware.
That's a thing to do.
Household supply.
And then you do what you
turn it over, and it becomes a rich, fertile soil that you can use again in your plants or anything. You can, and you don't have to have this huge property to be doing composting. But how do you celebrate today?
Well, you see, composting then is that you see that big funeral home that you see out the road there, right? You have. Is composting the soil and turning it over. It's going to be a rich place for people to plant stuff in a few years after everything is composted.
Why do you have to go there? How to celebrate?
But you're telling me something that you see, that's what I'm telling you. You cannot disassociate.
All right. How to celebrate? These are suggestions how you can celebrate the day. Host a compost party. Invite friends over and show them how to start their compost pile. Make it
host
fun.
A what?
Compost party.
That's done. Where's the local cemetery? Where is our local cemetery? Because if you find your local cemetery, There's a compass party right
Visit
there.
your local farm or garden. Yes. Many farms and community gardens have composting systems and compost
like your
day.
like your cemetery composting system.
Yes. And today is also Oak Apple
Fully
Day.
active every single day, because that's how life works. While you die, you replenish the earth. Keep going back to it. Everything that dies go to the earth.
Yes. Yeah.
Composting. So she just explained what it is to me, and I now see what it really is. I am hearing it. Thank you for that enlightening piece of information. Wow.
I never planned to enlighten you in that way. International Day of Peacekeepers.
That day should be every single day of the week. Bible says, blessed are they.
It is celebrated every year on the 29th day of May. It's the start of the first UN peacekeeping mission in 1948. It's a time to remember the dedication and courage of over 2 million people who have served in these missions since then. So there you have it, the peacekeeping
days. Okay.
Yes. All right.
Well, all right. I think you have something else.
Oh, I have some days that I am like, what are these days? End of the Middle Ages Day.
What is that?
World Tiger Nut Day.
What is End of the Middle Ages Day?
End of the Middle Ages Day is a fascinating celebration that marks a significant shift in history. Celebrated on the 29th of May, this day remembers the fall of Constantinople to the Ottomans in 403, an event many see as the close of the Middle Ages and the dawn of the Renaissance. The Middle Ages were a time of great change and contrast. It was an era where the Catholic Church was the most powerful force, not kings or queens.
And so when we see that, Lady Elise, that kind of thing, as you say, the great change of the Middle East, that time,
I don't even remember. You see how I was just glossing over it?
Well, on. So listen to it. This very important time. What you say it was? The cutting edge time, just like now.
Yes.
It's the same time like now, when things are cutting edge time, and we are thinking that we are going to be, we are the top of everything. We're top of the pile right now.
Yes.
Yeah, you're going to be top of the pile, mulching the land. What do you call it? What do you call it thing?
Composting
the land day. All right. You know what is that a day that I'm thinking we should start to look at? I'm waiting to find it there.
What day is that?
The loss of common sense day. The lack of common sense day. The demise of common sense that has not been visible anywhere in this society. Have you realized how common sense is not common anymore, especially these days? People are saying some stupid things and then have a PhD saying them. Simple common sense, If you had common sense, your PhD would have made you even smart. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying?
If I'd known, I would have worn my my old-fashioned...
Your old-fashioned dress.
Yes,
and
you would have worn your...
My dashiki shirt. No, not dashiki shirt, no. Dashiki shirts are for Hawaiian people who goes out in Hawaii.
And then it's also World Tiger Nut Day. I've never heard
what a tiger
of
nut? It's
tiger
a nut that tigers
nut.
love to eat.
World Tiger Nut Day, small but mighty, these golden nuggets offer a nutritious crunch, surprising taste, and endless culinary possibilities. Enjoy the day that celebrates this crunchy, healthful snack, right? It's cultivated for many centuries. The tiger nut is actually not a nut at all, but it is from the tuber family, like the sweet potato or carrot. I've never seen it in my life. I'm looking at the pictures. I wish I had it up on the screen to share with our viewers. The tiger nut got its name from a sort of striped exterior it has, resembling the stripes of the largest living cat species. So it originated from North Africa. The tiger nut has been popular in Europe for several centuries and made its way to North America in the mid-19th century.
Now you know about the tiger nut.
And it has health benefits.
Composite day.
You know,
What's
it
the health benefit
reduces
of it?
blood sugar levels due to their high fiber content. Some studies have shown that tiger nuts may be helpful in boosting the immune system and fighting off infections caused by bacteria. Tiger nuts may be good for heart health. A lot of nuts are good for heart health. These tubers are high in monounsaturated fats with a profile similar to heart healthy olive oil. It's high in resistant starch type of insoluble fiber. Tiger nuts may act as a helpful digestive aid. I've never seen it in Cayman, but I will definitely be looking
out for it. Do you know that there's a big
new.
do you know that there's a big campaign on anti-natural foods?
Yes.
Big campaign on it. That it is being propaganda. It's propagandized.
Yes.
All over how some foods are bad for your health. If you eat bananas, it do this to you. If you eat oranges, it do this to you. All big promotions, you know. People claiming to be doctors and all kind of things, you know.
Yes.
Teaching these things to people that they mustn't eat these fruits, you know.
Yes.
And then they want to give you a capsule to take care of you. And guess what we are doing?
Yes.
We are buying it hook, line, and sinker. How do we do that? You know? And so here is a responsibility that we must have to the persons who watch the Breakfast Hour.
Yes.
To give you that narrative, that wholesome information that will help you to choose better.
Make the right choice.
And we establish common sense. I want to say that the persons who watch the Breakfast Hour are persons with common sense.
Of course.
If you don't have common sense, you won't stay here. That's it. Let me just put it again. If you don't have common sense, or possess a little bit of it, you will not stick and stay with the Breakfast Hour because it just don't make sense to you when some of the things are said.
Well, whenever you're ready, the news is ready for you as well.
All right. So let's go to a song. I want somebody to hear this one this morning, and I'm going to tell you something very interesting. Yeah. Guess what?
God is bringing out the best in my life.
God is bringing out the best in my life this morning.
Bringing out the best in my life.
He is.
Oh, the best, the very best, the best in my life. Oh, the best, the very best, the best in my life. What is God bringing out? God is bringing out the best in my life. Over your life, over your family. God is bringing out all that concerns my life. Oh, the best, the very best, yeah, yeah, the best in my life. Oh, the best, the very best, the best in my life. When my life seems dark, He calls out the light. Even when I'm crying, I know He's working in the background to bring out the best in my life. You see, He's bringing out the best in my life. When I feel forsaken, Jesus is my best friend.
The best in my life, no matter what it is. God is bringing out some good things for me.
He's bringing out the best in my life. I know He's bringing out best in my life.
God is bringing out the best in my life today, and of course, can I tell you something, Lady Elise? When I speak of God's bringing out the best in my life in these days,
Yes.
it is a realistic and real thing.
Yes.
When you see where you're coming from, see where you are now.
Yes.
We started the conversation in this way. And you ask the question, Mikey G, why do you always look back? anytime we have the conversation.
I don't know. Do I need to apologize?
No, but I'm only trying to. I want to just bring the clarity to the mention of that content, what you ask.
Yes.
Is that I must see where I am coming from.
In order to know where you're going, eh?
That nasty place that I know that I have left behind me. It's in my rear view mirror, and I want to see me going further and further away from it.
Yes.
That's why rear view mirrors are on your car, you know. They are designed like that you can always take a look at what's behind you as you go forward, how far you have come from that place.
Yes.
And so now I've measured myself and I'm at this place now.
Yes.
And so in my going forward, I can't go forward from nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
I must go forward from somewhere.
Yes.
And it must be an established place that I am at.
Yes.
That I could move forward from here.
Yes.
You know? And so that's what I would say, that God has taken me from so far.
Yes.
And brought me this place.
You let me think about this song. So far, it's been so good so far. Through all the joys and scars, you've won the battles in my heart. I know the plans you have for me. Anyway, we run out of the words. I'm trying hard to see, but my eyes can only see so far.
My eyes can only see so far. When we
far, it's been so good so far, through all the joys and scars.
Through all the joys, the scars that we have.
Yes.
And you know what? More than anybody else, I have so many scars. I have my own scars. But you know what my scars have taught me?
Yes.
My scars have taught me that the fights that I had was necessary.
Yes.
And these scars are a reminder of the fights that I don't want to be in. I won't get myself tangled in anymore.
Yes.
Yeah. But then, the problem with life is this.
Uh-huh.
There's always a reoccurrence of events that may just take place again.
Yes.
And sometimes at your best effort, they turn up.
Yes.
Sometimes it can be out of the helping of somebody else.
Right.
That you put yourself into a situation.
Yes.
Assisting someone that you believe needs your help. And then you find yourself in a situation that you can't believe that you are in there with that. So you have to see these things happening, and you must know.
Sure.
And so, as God's people, we have to know that things will come, but you can't use that kind of cowardly behavior to say you won't help anyhow.
No.
You have to be somebody who will offer you help despite the certain danger.
Yes.
Nobody help anyone if you're in a crisis without seeing the danger of helping.
Yes.
And that level of selflessness comes out in you when that has occurred.
Right.
If that don't occur,
yes,
then you'd have helped selfishly to show yourself that you are very good in yourself, but not from a heart of love and generosity.
Right.
You'd be a place of pride that you come out. Because if you know that by helping this person, you're going to find yourself in some danger, then right away you separate yourself from those who will do it despite the danger.
Yes.
Immediately. You're not that person.
Yeah.
And so we look at the Christian walk as people would want to have it and measure it.
Yes.
Very interestingly. When you measure the Christian walk, Lady Elise, you find that people, and this was something that was asked of me yesterday, it was said to me yesterday, that people believe that Christianity is a bed of roses. It's not.
Yes.
If you follow the history, and I keep saying, and you ask the question again, why do I keep looking back? You must, because if you don't know where you're coming from, certainly you will never know where you're going. And if you don't know what happened in the past, certainly, if your past is missing, then certainly your future will be that past that you don't know, or you don't revisit, you don't see, right? And so you don't want your past to be your future. So now you must always keep that in mind, that you don't want to go back there, and everything to stop you from going back there must be in place to keep you going forward away from that nonsense. Here is Christianity. Christians don't want to know what the people did before them. But if you follow the history of Christianity and how people came through hardship, people were burned at the stake because of what they believe. The question is, will you be believing something, standing up for it, that you'll be willing to give your life for what you believe as a Christian today in 2024? Is there anybody in that nature, or clergymen, or people who have been expounding upon the word? Will any of us be willing to stand up? And then don't look at the persons who are in leadership position. Let's look at yourself as a person who claim Christianity for your personal self. That says, am I one of those persons who is willing to stand up in the face of adversity, in the face of certain death, to stand for what I believe, no matter what the heavens fall? Are you one of those persons? Because that's what it means. That's the measure of a Christian person. That's the measure of Christianity. It's not going out to see, oh, you're a fornicator, you're an adult, you're a thief. No, that's not it. It is all of that plus more. You know? So we want to stop at the sins, but we don't want to see the integrity coming forward. You want to stop at the gossip, but you don't want to come to the integrity of being who you're supposed to be. Come on. That's where we need to see ourselves. And so, if you see that the Christians are not finding any problem with what the world is doing, then that it means that you're not out of the world. You're right there with the world. There must be something that bothers you. There must be something that bothers you. And it can't be the car that them don't make the right way. I don't like the shape of this car. They make this one 2024. I think the one 2023 shape better than this one. If that's the problem you're having, type a house in living. Oh, there is. I don't know what to say. Let's go. It's time for the news right here on Flashpoint. Did we do the commercial first?
Before or after? No, that's fine.
Let's do the commercial afterwards. Yes. Let's do it like this. All right, fine.
Good morning, listeners. Good morning, viewers. Welcome to the Breakfast Hour News. I am Lady Elise, and here are the top stories making it today. We begin with local news. An elderly man found unresponsive near Cemetery Beach. On Sunday, May 26 at around 8:15 a.m., police were dispatched to Cemetery Beach on West Bay Road to assist a person in distress. Upon arrival, they discovered an unresponsive man being administered CPR by bystanders on the beach. A member of the public had spotted the unresponsive man in the ocean and with the help of others brought him to shore and immediately began CPR until emergency services arrived. The 78-year-old man from West Bay was transported to Georgetown Hospital by ambulance, where he was later pronounced deceased. Investigations into the circumstances of the man's death are ongoing. The RCIPS extends its condolences to the family and friends of the deceased. Police arrest 3 repeat offenders for burglary. This week, police arrested 2 men in connection with a burglary of a restaurant on South Church Street on May 12 and another man for a criminal damage burglary incident at a restaurant at North Church Street on May 22. One of the men was also arrested for another burglary incident in late April at another restaurant along South Church Street. The first man, a 48-year-old from Northside, was formally charged with burglary and appeared in court on May 23rd. The second man, a 50-year-old from Boddentown, has also been formally charged and is expected to appear in court. The third man, 35 of Georgetown, remains in custody as investigations continue. Detective Superintendent Peter Lonsdale emphasized that these revisit offenders affected by drugs and alcohol will be prosecuted to the fullest extent to ensure the safety of the Cayman Islands. St. Vincent's Prime Minister concerned about country's birth rate. Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, has expressed concern about the country's falling birth rate and urged women to have more children to replenish the stagnant population. During a media conference on Monday, he highlighted the challenges of balancing professional life and motherhood, but stressed the necessity of maintaining the population for the country's continued development. According to Statista, the birth rate in St. Vincent and the Grenadines has been declining, with 2021 recording the lowest birth rate in a decade. Grenada to host Sargassum Conference. Grenada has been selected to host a dedicated Sargassum Conference in September, bringing together key stakeholders to explore solutions and business opportunities related to sargassum management. The conference will include experts, policymakers, business leaders, and environmentalists to discuss sustainable solutions for managing the seaweed that affects coastal ecosystems and tourism. The EU and OECS have pledged support for Caribbean nations in tackling this issue through technical assistance and funding. The Pope apologizes after using vulgar term about gays. Pope Francis apologized on Tuesday after he was quoted using a vulgar term about gays during a closed-door meeting with Italian bishops on May 20th. The term was used while reaffirming the Church's ban on gay priests. Vatican spokesman Matteo Bruni stated that the Pope did not intend to offend and extends his apologies to those affected. The Pope has consistently promoted inclusivity within the Church, emphasizing that there is room for all. And there you have it, listeners and viewers. That's all for now for the Breakfast Hour News. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will provide updates as the day goes on. not know when the news is going on. Can I tell you? I don't say anything in the news that funny. You need some water, Mikey G?
Let me get myself some water, right?
I am gonna suggest that you do not comment on any of the news items this morning. Just drink your water. Here's a song that is about water. You know that song?
Alright, so alright, Lady Elise, got you on there.
Did you like the St. Vincent and Grenadines complaining about the decreased birth rate and asking the women
Asking the women to do what?
to recognize the importance of motherhood.
Was I here yesterday? Am I here every day? Am I here every day telling this story?
When I read it, I was like,
was I here every day telling this story?
Because although I was privy to what was happening, I was gonna say maybe there was too many births. I didn't know it was the opposite.
Too many births. You can't have one house with you have 5 bedrooms.
All right. Okay.
I have one little picnic in there. Hold on. One little picnic in there. 5 bedrooms, you know. Let me finish, Lady Elise. Come on, man. We're talking here, man.
Can I have a question? Then
let me say what I'm saying, no? We can have 5 bedrooms with one little picnic in there and claiming that you are doing what? What is that? One picnic is not what?
Can I say something?
Yes, ma'am.
You know, we have had a previous discussion that we say let we not say anything. You know, like
say what?
Alright, you want to talk about something else? The sargasm.
No, we're talking about what we are listening to. We have to talk about the things that we are hearing.
The seaweed, you know that a lot
I
of
didn't know what sargasm was. I didn't know that sargasm was even a thing. I didn't even know what it was.
You know, when the seaweed wash up, do you know that you're seeing a lot more than what you used to see back in the years? Wouldn't you agree? I am seeing a lot more seaweed in Cayman, and it's not just in Cayman, it's all over the Caribbean. Let's talk about that.
Of course.
The environment.
Let's talk about the environment. While we all become, what the word they use? Mulch? What is that mulch you use?
Compost.
Well, we become compost even in our minds. We are composting our minds right now. Look at the composting that's going on in our mind. We're packing up all sorts of garbage. Is what you pack?
Look at this. Gonzalez highlighted the need for women, particularly those 25 to 35, to have more children to counteract the stagnant population.
The what? The what population?
Stagnant.
What population is that? Is it just in that country alone that population is stagnant?
He cited the country's successes in education and opportunities for women as contributing factors to the lower birth rate. Do you believe that?
Hold on, say that again, read that again.
I don't know.
Read it again, no? Please, just read those things.
Listen, if I had known this, I would have not read it.
Please read it again. Please read it again.
The country's successes in education and opportunities for women as contributing factors to the lower birth rate.
Why would
According to Statista, St. Vincent and Grenadines had a birth rate of 12.9 live births per 1,000 inhabitants in 2021, the lowest in a decade, and a fertility rate of 1.8 children per woman.
Let's go to the. We're going to go to our doctor is online and ready to go. We're going to go to our health talk, but in a minute. I want to just finish this part of it, and then we're going to come back to the part of it.
I think the doctor would love to weigh in on the conversation.
Hold on.
Dr. K, good morning.
Hold on. Don't call Dr. K yet. I want you to answer this one question for me first.
Yes.
What do you think would have been the contributing factor in women? And this is not to say
we were all
hold on. And this is not to say that our women must not be educated. That's not to say that our women must not be able to professional or not. This is not to say this.
Yes.
But let's look at the benefits and the not so beneficial aspects of it.
Yes.
In this scenario, what do you see happening?
How? You mean in terms of
more professional women, less birth and
yes, because you
creating.
have to make that choice at a certain age to continue your education, and so you would delay other aspects. You would delay childbearing. That
don't delay at all. You delay something that is not delaying. It's like stopping life that don't stop. It's like delaying things that I will do today for tomorrow, because today is going to pass and today is not stopping for nobody.
They're forced, not they're forced, but the
force?
choice
There's not
has
no forcing
been
going
made.
on.
Like, I mean, you
have been schooled.
You
have been schooled. You have been schooled. You have been coerced. You have been coerced and schooled into not having a relationship, getting married, and wanting to have families.
All right, so
this is what has been happening to our society. And you must see the devil's plan in all of it. There's no God plan there. There's no God plan in that. If you forfeit having children, which God wants people to have, then the God plan has gone through the window.
But I must say, I remember the ads that would have been played. 2 is better than too many.
Well, that is true.
Right?
And it's hold on.
Our parents used to have.
Hold on. And so they have used that narrative to cut down the family rate by singing the song in your mind. Everything that you give a 30-second ads to will all. If I play Laska, how many people love Laska now? Lots of people.
All right, Dr. K is ready.
Dr. K, good morning. How are you this morning?
Good morning. And it's interesting that I'm talking about female wellness this morning when you're talking about decreasing birth rate, and I can weigh in a little bit on that. I agree with what Elise was saying, in that women in the age and in the society that we're living in, and even as it is now, more women are in the working world. More women are going outside of their home to find a job in order to financially achieve and make the family better. With this, it is easier for them to get a career earlier in life in order to make provision for their children than having their children earlier and struggle with them and get a career later. So yes, this will help. Secondly, it's easier for a woman to have 1 or 2 children than to have 5, 6, 7, 8 children if she's going to be productive in the working world. So yes, her childbearing will be less, but you have to understand that in this society that we live in, how many women stay home and take care of their children, which would be the ultimate?
Right. I would say, Dr. K, that in light of the information that you just brought to the table, and it's a wholesome bit of information. I will not shoot it down. I will not try to scar it in any way. What I would go to do is look at the benefits and the disadvantage of what will happen next. It's like when I look at that conversation, I see the merit in what you say. But as I'm going to put it and say that anything that do anything anti God's original plan is a devil's plan. No matter what fix it look, no matter how packaged and how right it looks, it is in that sense. Look at the spill off for the certain demise of the human population and the rate of humanity when exposed are exercising this going forward. This is what is happening. In essence, what we are looking at is we are training people to then do this exact same action repeatedly, that is going to be a certain demise over time. That's what I was looking at. While it is wholesome and true that women must be educated to take care of themselves and doing it, but there must be a better way going forward. That's what I would say.
Okay, I hear you.
All right, Dr. K, let's have what are we talking about today?
We're talking about female wellness today.
All right, female
And
wellness.
yeah. So what does that mean? So wellness in a woman is basically an overall state of physical, mental, social, spiritual health. And yes, it's wellness in anybody, but it looks a little different in a woman because she has a little bit more moving parts. Let's put it that way. So wellness, usually we advise a woman, and this came up because yesterday was Menstrual Health Day.
Oh, yeah.
The 28th of May was Menstrual Health Day.
Right.
And so I thought about just making sure, or just involving that in a day where we can talk not just about menstrual health, but everything else when it comes on to a woman's health. So it doesn't matter what your gender identity is. A wellness exam is very important. And a wellness exam should start as a teenager, usually around 13 to 15 years old. A woman should go to her doctor and talk regularly and get a physical exam. Now, it starts out by just checking your height, checking your weight, checking your blood pressure, your blood sugar, talking about your periods, because women at 13 to 15-year-old, most females start to have a period. Talk about your period. If you're worried about anything, is it heavy? Is it painful? If it's irregular? And then as you get older, your examination or your talk changes. So it's important to develop that relationship with your provider, because you want to be as open as possible about talking about things that affect you. You want to talk about your sexual health. You want to talk about things that you're exposed to, your partners, whether you're in an abusive relationship, whether you feel scared. You need to talk about everything. And this is important for you to have that relationship. When you reach age 21 to 24, you might be sexually active at that age, so you want to talk about getting a pap test. And over 25, you will do not just a pap smear, but you do HPV, which is a human papillomavirus, which is implicated in the cause of not just cervical cancer, but throat cancer for people who practice additional forms of sexual activity. Then as you get older, you want to do a clinical breast examination. So between 25 and 39 years old, you might want to do every 1 to 3 years, you might do just a clinical breast examination. And your doctor will also tell you, you need to do your breast examination at home because you need to know what your breast feels like. When you're 40 and over, then in addition to the clinical breast exam, you want to get a mammogram. And a mammogram may start earlier depending on your family history. Family history of breast cancer, you might want to have a mammogram earlier. A lot of these women are augmented with a breast ultrasound because of the denseness of their breast. So there are different things you want to talk about. So that is talking about just that aspect of your health. But there are other things that you want to talk about. So let's go back to your periods. When was your last period? how often do you have a period? How long do they last? Because the cycle, a woman's cycle, is anywhere between 21, an average is 28 days, right?
Okay.
But the cycle could be 21 to 36 days or 35 days. So it could be a week before or a week after. So that could be your regular cycle. So it can fall anywhere in. So a woman needs to know what's her normal cycle, and she needs to be tracking this from day one.
And
Initially, it might be a little. Go ahead.
In terms of actually knowing what cycle you have, there is a way to count it so that you can answer the question. It's not that it comes at the beginning of the month or it comes at the end of the month. How do you count it so that you can say it's 21 days or 28 days or 30 days?
So you're going to count it from the date starts to the date starts again.
Okay.
So the day it starts to the day it starts again. So if it started on the 21st of, say, which month are we in?
May.
The 21st of June. Okay? So you're going to go back and say it started on the 21st of June. Is it going to come the 21st of July? If it's going to come the 21st of July, then of course you have a 30-day cycle, because there are 30 days between the 21st of June and the 21st of July. But if you have a 28-day cycle, it's going to come on the 19th of July.
Okay.
So your cycle is not necessarily on the same day of every month. So what you're going to be doing is keeping a log. So whenever your period comes, you're going to be saying, okay, and you are not going to know. You have to keep a log for a little while. Then eventually you'll know. Clockwork, you'll know if your period is regular, and if you have a 28-day period, it's not going to come the same day of the month.
Okay.
Because there are 31 days in some months, 30 days in some months, 28 days in February. So
Right.
it will come every 28 days. If it's going to be a 30-day cycle, it will come every 30 days. If it's going to be a 21-day cycle, it comes every 21 days. If it's going to be a 32-day cycle, that's when it comes. But the thing about it, that even if it's a little irregular, and your periods come, if it's a week late, then that's when you're going to be like, oh, something is happening here. But if it comes within that period, then you're fine. You're not worried about that point. And the thing is just to always be prepared. Most women have an idea when they're ovulating, because from the period end to 14 days is when they're ovulating. So usually another 14 days the period would come. But remember, this section, even though it's supposed to be 14 days, it can vary. So the time for ovulation can vary. And this is affected by a number of things. Stressors that are happening in the woman. Okay? It could be her environment. It could be women who are in a dorm or live with other women. There's usually a dominant female, and their periods might change around that woman.
What? I didn't know
Yes.
that one.
Yes.
Yes.
It's as though it's her pheromones and everything. That becomes a dominant female. So her pheromones or whatever and all their periods tend to come around the same time. So women who live in a community, women who live in the same house, they all live together. Even if their periods were different times, eventually the cycle changes and everybody have their periods at the same time.
Wow.
And it's amazing that the hormones just change and everything happens at the same time.
That's interesting.
It is.
All connectivity going on at the same time.
I suppose it's a fact that we're all social beings, and there are hormones and stuff that actually changes and dictates what happened, and just being around other people, it synchronizes.
Okay, amazing. As you
Yes,
mentioned the
I
screening,
think
though, Dr. K, I hope I'm not breaking your trend of thought.
no, no, no. Go ahead.
Um, One of the things that have impacted me or I've been concerned about is the screening for fibroids. I find that in our population, particularly, there is a high number of persons who battle this challenge, and persons generally find out when they start to have symptoms. So they might have painful periods, excessively painful periods, or very, very heavy periods. And that is when they discover that they have fibroids. Now, in light of what we have discussed before, and one of the things is about childbearing and all of that, when as a young woman, that is probably not the first thing on your mind. You're not thinking about it. But what we find out is that persons down the line, they decide, okay, I would have wanted to have children, and that is when the time that they're finding out that they have some massive fibroids. Now I know pap smears are something that you're told annually or whenever time. You're told the age when you do your mammogram, but where that is concerned, unless your doctor has that as their part of their individual thing to let the person have as a screening, a lot of women don't find out until they become symptomatic.
And I agree with you, but the thing about it is that from day one, I say you start talking about getting your pap from in your early 20s. And women, part of a pap exam is a pelvic exam.
Yes.
And the doctor should be actually checking to see if there's any change in the uterus, because you can feel a bulky uterus. Once you're doing that palpable exam, you're checking your adnexal to make sure that there's no tenderness on either side, that is in the sides of the pelvis. So you're checking, you're palpating inside and outside. So you're pushing up when you're in the vagina and pushing down on the abdomen. And what you're doing is feeling for any masses or even inciting tenderness if there's something happening there. And when you go to the midline, you're pushing up on the cervix. You're actually checking for any tenderness, and you're also checking for any masses, because if the uterus is getting a little bigger, you should be able to palpate this. But if a woman is telling you that her periods are irregular, they're a little bit heavy, or it's changed, then this is something that an ultrasound is important. So a woman doesn't wait until the symptoms that she starts having heavy bleed, or she's feeling the bulkiness in her uterus, or she's having pain when she's having sexual intercourse before she goes to her doctor. The talk starts very, very early. And women, as Black women, we need to be aware that fibroids is something that we are plagued with.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just who we are. It's just what we are. And even though there is no exact science as to the cause of these fibroids,
Mm-hmm.
because Black women, who a lot of times they used to say is what you eat, but a Black woman in a different population eating differently still get fibroids.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we can't say it's diet. I think it's just your genetic predisposition. You're Black, and as a result of that, you're at risk for getting fibroids. And now, not all Black women get fibroids, but fibroids are many more times common in Black women.
Yep.
Could that be?
And so,
Sorry, Doc.
go ahead.
Let me not break a chain of thought. You're saying something.
No, go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
and could that be contributed? Could that factor be somewhere about what we are eating, um, foods that we may eat or stuff like that.
Or the estrogen levels,
And,
or
and that's why I said to you that they used to have a they used to say it was because of what women eat. But I'm saying to you that has been dispelled. That myth has been dispelled because there are women who are in a different population, different geographic location. Foods are different and they still have fibroids. Because
Okay.
there was a thing that Caribbean women tend to have more fibroids than other women. But you take that woman, put her in another geographic location, feed her something differently, she still gets fibroids.
Here is a question for you, Doc. I would like to ask you. And it comes with childbearing years of a woman. Best years of childbearing, one, and in association and relating it to fibroids and how it operates. How does childbearing and fibroid basically
work together?
Is it helpful? How does it operate? Explain to us a little bit about that.
Say that again. How does
No,
fibroids
all
affect
right.
childbearing?
First, I wanted to know what the best years of childbearing for a woman, and then childbearing as it relates to fibroids. If childbearing occurs, does it affect the presence of fibroids? And how? If it does or doesn't, I don't know. Just asking. So first question:
Okay.
best years for childbearing, if there's such a thing, and going forward with the other question.
Well, the basically the best, or they would consider the ideal childbearing age is in your 20s to early 30s. So that is when it comes on to the best time in terms of your body, in terms of giving the health risk, not just for you, but for the child, is in that period of your life, 20s to 30s.
And what would be the factors causing that when you think about the health risk to the child? What are you thinking about at that time?
The health risk to the child is that, okay, so remember, as you age, you are age 30, your fertility declines, your ovaries, and you just have to know that they're actually producing less. By the time you reach 45, thereabout, but by the time you reach 30, up to that age, your basically your fertility declines. So what happens is that you are your body is at the peak of health, in terms of health, not just health in every aspect. Usually a woman who takes care of herself, her body is at the peak of age. No blood pressure, no diabetes, nothing, no risk of any what would you say, genetic mutations, and not that cannot happen, but the risk is less at that age. So in terms of the child, you're less likely to get a trisomy 21 child. You understand what that means, right?
I'm going to measure that by what we are looking
Down
at.
syndrome.
Down syndrome
Down
and
syndrome
other.
is more common in an older woman, not that it doesn't happen in a younger woman.
Okay.
A younger woman is less likely to have problems with her blood pressure. So she gets something called preeclampsia or even eclampsia. A young woman tends to have less problems with her blood sugar. So she will not develop gestational diabetes, which can be problematic for her and for the baby. So there are other things that happen in a woman at this stage, which makes it less likely for her to have a baby with birth defects
Wow.
or impure genes.
So you're saying, you're then suggesting then, Doc, in this instance then, that it is really impressed on, should be impressed on women, not in this. It's not a woman thing. It is impressed on the society to also educate our women in the knowledge that this is a factor that must be considered when they are coming up to choose life expectancy. How you're going to operate in your life. Meaning, you might want to choose a career over having children, and then you might want to choose children and choose a career later. There are many ways to do the same thing, but how to navigate that may be something
but
that
the
needs
point
to be
is that, and
understood.
it's not just only career. A lot of women, when they're younger, may not get a partner, may not get married. They get married later in life for whatever reason. So we can't just say it's choosing a career. It's not always choosing a career. You may never have a partner. You get married when you're 30. When do you have your children? Do you have them back, one behind the other in order to try to have them before you're 35? So you get married at 33. You get married at 35. So it depends. And it's not a matter of saying, oh, I should have gotten married at 20. That may not have happened. That may not have happened. There are women who mature later. Yes, it would be nice to get married a little bit earlier when you're 25, but it might not have happened.
I was just this is where I alluded the conversation to, Doc. I'm considering what you just said, and I see it with the merits that it has. But when I said it a while ago, I said it from a societal perspective, not from an individual point of view. That training in the minds of people should be taking place to encourage this sort of mindset that would, of course, generate the forward thinking that it is important that we look at it. So when people get to a certain age, they're already considering the marriage proposal idea, both men and women, looking at it because they are knowing that this is where it is. And so families would have operated in that understanding. Therefore, they'll be looking out for better, instead of having persons just going out thinking that they have time to do all the things that they're doing, and then later on come back to the table to figure it out. They would have started early knowing that this is the direction to go and not. And then you'll find more people going that direction and fewer straying away from it. I'm just saying, if that's a conversation that could have been had. I'm one of those optimistic. Maybe I'm an optimist or a philosopher or some, person. I don't know what people see me as. I thought about it.
Right.
Like that.
So I mean, that's a conversation that can be had with our young ladies, and that's why it's important. It's important to talk about from your 13 to 15. You go to your doctor, you talk, you have a discussion about your life, about fertility, about what happens with you as a woman. What are the possibilities of having children? What are the complications? How do you deal with your body? How do you make your body the best body and get yourself as fit as possible for having children? Women who are healthier have healthier children. And that's just what it is. And after childbearing, pregnancy, childbearing is a very stressful time in a woman's life. It takes a lot on her body. The physical stress. That child is like a parasite. It will leach everything out of the woman's body. And if she doesn't have the means, that child will take and leave her like a shell. It will take whatever it needs to grow.
Oh my God.
So you have to make sure. That's why when you're treating a woman, you said, increase your vitamins, increase your this, increase the amount that you're eating, because that child is going to take from you. So you're feeding too. Because you're going to feed that child and you're feeding yourself. You're taking care of that child and you're taking care of yourself. It will take everything from you. And that's why it's easier for you to have a healthy body, because even after pregnancy, bouncing back when you're younger is easier than bouncing back when you're 50,
older.
40-year-old. It is harder. Your whole physical, your abdomen is able to come back to where it was when you're younger. As you're older, your muscle strength is
Washboard
not
belly.
as well, so you're not able to get that back. You have a lot of young women, they have children, and you'll be surprised. You're like, have you had a child? They don't look like they've had a child. So yes, it's important to have your children younger, because the whole physical stress that the pregnancy puts on you, you're able to bear, or able to tolerate it, and able to deal with it better in a younger state than when you're older.
Here's a
The
piece
other
that
question.
here's a piece that I wanted to put on it, Doc. Give us the fibroids in the absence of childbearing.
Okay, so fibroids basically is as a result of your hormones. Okay, so as I say, fibroids is basically more common in black people, and probably we just have more estrogen than other people. I don't know.
Yes.
We're probably just more protected, or we're just having more estrogen than other people. Plus, remember, a lot of the foods that we have exogenous estrogen too.
Yes.
So some of the foods that we eat, and that's why they were saying that it's because of our
Diet.
food intake,
Yes.
where we're at risk for fibroids, and that possibly has an important component to it, because they were saying that what we eat, like our yam and our ground provision, tend to have a little bit of estrogen, and they're thinking that that is what causes us to have increased fibroids. But there are women who eat that kind of food and still do not have fibroids. So, you try to say that cannot be it. But the fact is that women who have never had a child, especially black women, a baby is not growing, something else will grow.
Say that again, Doc.
Okay.
Say that again for
I
me.
said a baby is not growing, so something else will grow in that uterus. Okay.
Oh my God.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
explain it, Doc. Explain it to us, because maybe I am slow.
Because remember,
Maybe I'm slow,
the
Doc. Explain it to us.
I'm saying that there's the estrogen that is being produced. Remember, when you have a pregnancy, you have a pause from that estrogen, at least for 9 months. And if you're breastfeeding, you might have a pause for a few more months. Okay? Because your prolactin levels might be increased, and that prevents you from ovulating. So your estrogen levels might be decreased for a little bit longer. So once you get that pause, you have nothing driving the production of the fibroids. But the fibroids feed on your estrogen. So whether you're taking exogenous or you're making estrogen, because your hormone, your ovaries produce estrogen. These are these are the hormones that's feeding your fibroids. So you, as a woman who have never had a child, if you've never had a child, the likelihood of you having fibroids is increased. But there are women who has never had a child. There's a woman who has never had a child, and she's never had fibroids. So yes, the likelihood of fibroids will happen in women who are nulliparous women who've never had a child. But there are even women who have had children who still have fibroids.
Yeah.
So we're talking about, how does fibroids affect your fertility? So basically, we say infertility is basically a disease, or the case in which your reproduction fail to achieve a pregnancy, right? And this is after 12 months or more of having regular unprotected sexual activity, right? So that is really infertility. And infertility, uterine fibroids is a common cause of infertility in women. Okay? Uterine fibroids are benign tumors. So they're growths in the uterus that they can get to large stage. Some women have just small fibroids and women have huge fibroids. Now, fibroids can be the sole cause of a woman not getting pregnant. And it's important because the location of the fibroids and where the fibroids are located in the uterus will determine this. So you might get pregnant, but you lose the pregnancy, or the fertilized ovum might not be able to implant in the uterus because it's riddled with fibroids.
Wow.
So you can have the fibroids in different parts of the uterus, right? There could be in the muscles, and we call those intramural, or there could be subserosal, wherever they are. I mean, Ellie would know these terms, but once they're abutting the endometrial lining, the risk of getting pregnant tends to be decreased. And there are times, depending on the size of the fibroids, that decreases the risk of fertility.
Thank you, Doc. Such a
piece of information. So this is
that piece.
Right.
Wow.
I'm listening because I noticed when Doc came on, she says she's touching on female health, and I recognize how wide this topic is, because fibroids alone could take up a good chunk of the discussion, because it is such...
Guys, don't worry, guys, don't worry. You're not affected. You won't be affected with any fibroids. The men won't be affected. If any man is affected with fibroids, check him out somewhere else. All right, fine. Go ahead.
Yes, so that alone itself is a topic that we could go on for. But I want to ask you a question as it relates to mental health challenges or issues as the woman transitions from one phase of life to the different phases in life, from talking about teenage years to the changes that happen and how it affects her life, her ability to be in relationships, the fact that she might go through breakups and divorce, and her body changes affects how she relates with others. I know that's a totally different, but if you could just touch on these issues as well that are unique to females.
Yeah, so it's important because as I was saying to you, this factor about mental health and even in a woman's life is something that, even though it affects men and women, it affects women in a different way from men, right? And it can be expressed in depression, it could be eating disorders, anxiety. We talk about even during, after pregnancy, we talk about postpartum or peripartum depression, which is a very important thing. There are women who, after having a child, they become depressed, and not just depressed that they're having this child to deal with. It's clinical depression. They will ignore that child that they have always wanted. And they will yes, they will go to the depressed state where they cry all the time and are unable to meet their needs, not to mention the needs of a baby. So people, not just the woman, and that's why they need support. After pregnancy, or even during pregnancy, the husband needs to be very supportive. You know that women cry more than usual. They get depressed. they get they will you will see signs of them, struggling, and it behoves
But that,
not just the women. Yes, sir.
but that, what? Sorry, you're saying it behoves not just the women. You were saying something. Let me cut you
But
there.
their family members and
Right.
other people, friends, and other support groups that they have to recognize these changes. And even in younger women, we always hear about PMS.
But here, PMS. Hold on. But before you go to PMS, Doc, I want to just look at the lady who has the problem. She is presenting her child, and she needs a support group. But here's a husband who needs to go far from her to work somewhere else. He's a hunter and goes to the bush to hunt he's a miner who goes to the mine to mine. And she's having children. Isn't there's a structure that is in place, and I would quickly identify that there is the family unit, that people
Exactly.
people are social beings. And so what the society has done to us is to remove us from this socialized group of persons, this person that you socialize with, which are families, which in the early days would have been in close proximity. The uncles, the nephews, the grandmother, all these people would be in the same place. That would be able
Well,
to
that's true.
provide
And
that
that is why
that social intervention right there for that young girl, that young mother who would be having a problem, would have had that help.
and and that is why I said not only for the husband but for her social group. And her social group is not her friends alone. It's her grandmother, her mother, her siblings, that family structure that can recognize that gives her the support that she needs, and can recognize that there's something happening to her. Because when she's alone with that child, is more likely. Sometimes she has all the support and she still gets postpartum depression. But also that level of sadness and depression tend to be because what she'll have is sadness, feelings of hopelessness. She's not sleeping. It's difficult to sleep in. She might be sleeping too much. She might not be sleeping. Her appetite and her weight might change. These women have fatigue. She might have excessive fear or worry. So they're basically things that can help. She might be withdrawn from everybody, but having that support, having that family support can help her to deal with, especially in the peripartum and postpartum. I said peri means around pregnancy, and postpartum means after pregnancy.
Doc, I want to say thank you and applaud you for this awesome bit of information that so many of us would like to know. Like the time when the period cycle starts and when it ends for the men. Now you can count it. You know exactly what time that your wife is going to be on her period. And if she's not on her period at that time, then she's pregnant. That's
I was wondering where this was going to go because he started off good by saying no women, then I said okay, no the men, okay.
This is valuable. I can't speak. You are here, Lady Elise. It is very interesting that you are here, and I'm a man, and I'm going to show you the reasons why I'm a man, because I'm the exact opposite of her. The opposite. We are not the same. All right? So we are not the same. And so I'm going to say to the men, and I have to bring the knowledge to the men. And of course, I would expect you to do the same for the women. The doc is a woman as well. And so she's bringing women's health. And of course, I'm expecting next week that we'll hear a little bit about men's health. And of course, how we are affected by estrogen. Estrogen?
No, testosterone.
Oh, testosterone. You did that right? Anyway, Doc, I want to thank you this morning for coming on and enlightening us so much today. All right. So, Doc, you're still here with us?
I am still here. Thank you so much. My pleasure.
I will say again, each time that you come on, it always exceeds what I expect in terms of
The information.
the wealth of knowledge that is there that you share with us. And, you have just touched on
And
a few issues.
The tip of the
Yes.
iceberg.
Yes, just a tip of the iceberg. So if there are men listening, as already Mikey G said, now you can
How
take
to
your-
check the female cycle, and you must know
But
what cycle your lady
as-
is on, so you can know when to know.
Yes.
Yeah.
As women too, we have learned a great deal this morning. We know about calculating the length of our periods, what type of cycle we have, how to take care of our health, when to do our different checks, or pap smears, or mammogram, visiting a doctor, having an examination done, checking about fibroids, the best years for childbearing, and all of that covered. And last week we learned about, the week before we learned about menopause, and the men learned about andropause. So I say thank you, Dr. K, for sharing this wealth of information with us, and we are
Grateful.
certainly
Grateful.
yes, grateful for
I
it.
think when Doc come back, and she's going to measure the length of, what she measure the length of for the woman? All right.
Menstrual cycle.
What would you measure for the men? The length of something, the men, I don't
Cycle.
know. The cycle for the men? All right, fine.
It's not everything has to be a
Measured-
balanced thing
measured, but you must be
with women versus men. So the fact that we are measuring something doesn't mean that the men need
I
to
don't know.
be
That might want to teach us how to measure
your days.
my days. All right.
Yes.
Doc, thank you. Have yourself a great day, ma'am.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. Have a good day yourself. Bye.
All right.
No.
I remember when sin was sin.
I don't know.
And I remember when wrong was wrong.
I don't know.
I remember when we all fell short and got back up much quicker than the fall.
I'll play the song again, right? I'm going to start it all over. All right. Get it for me. Get it.
I remember when sin was sin.
Do you remember when sin was sin, huh? Mm-hmm.
And I remember when wrong was wrong.
Oh, we do remember when wrong was a wrong thing, yes? Mm-hmm.
I remember when we all fell short and got back up much quicker than the fall. Well, I'm praying that you open our eyes. Praying that you open our eyes again.
God, pray that you open our eyes.
Father, please open our eyes.
Let me take off my glasses for this one.
Father, please open our eyes again.
I want to leave this one with everybody. You know, the Catholic Church has just apologized to a group of persons trying not to offend them. I think you need to apologize as well to other persons who you have been offending for years. What about those fornicators that you're offending? What about those adulterers that you have been offending? For many, many years, you have been offending them. Why don't you? You need to start apologizing to these people as well. Alright, guys, we want to thank you.
I never saw that one at all. I never saw that one coming. Okay, want to thank you.
The question I want to ask.
You can't ask the question at the end.
The question I want to ask. Wait, Elise.
Breakfast.
Don't let it. I'm ending, man.
It's time to have breakfast.
I'm ending. Will other churches follow suit? Are other persons, other churches going to be follow suit with the Catholic Church in apologetic behavior to a certain behavior in our society, and then go on saying that it's okay? And that's all I want to say. But if you do that, please apologize to the persons who are fornicating. Apologize also to the person who love adultering and all of these things. Please apologize, because you have been offending them for years. You've been very rude and out of order for years. You've been very out of order to offend these people. And so I want you to start apologizing. Elise, please take us out of here this morning. What a day, boy. What a day. What a day. What a day. What a day. Guys, thank you for joining us this morning.
you know, I need to take you out in this way.
Yeah, take me out. Take me out.
Take you out in
Carry
this
me out.
way.
God, carry me out.
Donkey say the ground no
No
level.
level. Donkey say the ground no level.
Puss and dog.
No have the same luck.
Every day bucket a go.
Well, the bottom soon drop out.
You got you spitting at the ear.
It falling on your face.
You can't plant corn.
And expect to reap peas.
Under fall rules.
Fall is definitely going to defecate on you.
Play with Maga Dog.
Maga Dog will turn round and now it's biting you because you play with it long enough. Thank you, dear viewers and listeners. Have yourself a God bless day. Catch you tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Of course, Mikey G in the studios of Flashpoint, right here in the Grand Cayman Islands. And of course, the lady herself, the dynamic, the fabulous lady, Elise. All right, there you go, guys. Let's leave you like this. Take it out simply like this, guys. Had a great morning. It was a great day. Great information. Yeah. I remember when sin was actually sin. And when wrong was actually wrong. You realize that, you know, we talked about what right and wrong is. And if truth is truth and truth can be lies. Yeah? Truth are not necessarily true anymore, right? So let's go with this.
Well, I'm praying that you open our eyes.
Praying that God will open our eyes this morning.
Praying that you open our eyes again.
Yeah, man.
Father, please open our eyes. Father, please open our eyes again.
When the left was left. Said I remember when we had respect. Ooh, nah, nah. First thing in the morning, I give thanks for another day. I smile, though I don't have no money. I won't let that faze me, 'cause I'm so grateful for life and another chance. I'm gonna go through my day with a beautiful smile, even when things ain't going my way. I'm thankful for the gift of life. Gonna share that smile, it will never ever fade away. I'm alive in spite of all my struggles. I'm alive. Won't be drowned by my sorrows. I'm alive, yeah. Gonna live like there's no tomorrow. Hey, 'cause today is all I have. Work hard every day for me and my family. It's rough, but I gotta make it. Right now, can't hesitate.